Good morning, everyone. So, in my previous session, I told you that I'll prepare some scenarios on sharing settings and share with you, right, guys? So, these are the few scenarios I just noted down. It's around eight scenarios I have noted down. You can go through it and you can prepare a separate document like what are steps that you perform to achieve this scenario. Okay, so you can just complete it. You can write it. For example, let me explain one scenario. Okay, for example, first scenario, your organization has a group of users called contract reviewers. Okay, there are some users, we are calling their role as the contract reviewers. They should be able to view and edit all contracts in Salesforce. Okay, contract is nothing but the standard object. They would like to view and edit in Salesforce, regardless of who owns them. That means they would like to access all the information, all the records, even though they are not the owners. Okay, but they should not able to delete any contracts. Okay, they should not have the ability to delete the contracts. How would you ensure that this group has the correct access to the contract object? Okay, so you can just try to think and try to write your answer. What is the profile permissions and argvide default access or role hierarchy access, or do we need to use any sharing rule for this? Okay, you can just write it, whatever it is, whatever the thought you receive, that's fine. I just need answers, what you feel, that's it. Then you can just write your answers for these eight scenarios. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Yeah. For these nine scenarios, and you can share the document with me. Then I'll just correct it, and you can just explain it. I'll give you. I'll set up one day for this complete explanation. So you can explain your way of thoughts. How do you feel your answer is correct? Then if if that is wrong, also fine. I'll give you where is the wrong in case the answer is wrong. Okay. But just try to answer these nine scenarios. Okay. Already this document is shared with you guys. If you are able to try to answer these nine scenarios, then you will not get any confusions in the interviews. Okay. Each scenario might take a lot of time for you. It will take sometimes half an hour, 30 minutes, 30 minutes, or some scenarios you can fix it in 15 minutes also. Okay. But try to think it and answer it. So I'll arrange some session to discuss on these scenarios and as well as your answers that you shared with me. Okay. Then let's jump on to the today's session. Today's session actually, um, let me close other things. I would like to show you the Salesforce content that I shared with you. Yeah, in Salesforce content, App Exchange is the one which was pending. And the other thing that was pending is muting of permission sets. Okay. So before starting with the, sorry guys, close. Before starting with the formulas and validations, let's finish these two topics today. Okay, muting of permission sets and app exchanges. Okay, so muting of permission sets. So when we use the muting of permission sets is generally, right? Permission set we use to provide the permissions to a user. If any user would like to access more permissions than the permissions which they have in the profile, we use permission sets, right? And then we have another concept of permission set groups. That means instead of assigning individual permissions, permission sets to users, you can create those permission sets. For example, we have created different objects, right? Vehicle and student. We have created some, what else we created? I'm not recollecting exactly. Student, vehicle tracker, student tracker. These are, for these applications, we have created different objects, right? Vehicle, student, and we have created insurance, we have created policies, right? Like this, we have created different objects. And let us assume you have created different permission sets also. One permission sets to provide access to vehicle object, another permission set to provide access to a policies object, and another permission sets to create access to student object. Okay. And then we have a concept of permission set groups. Okay. Sorry, not permission sets, permission set groups. Okay. And we know permission set group is nothing but adding multiple permission sets into one group. Okay. Here, if we see commerce shopper, this is just one of the existing permission set groups. And inside this group, you can see two options, permission sets in group and muting permission sets in group. So first one is the permission sets in group. So using this link, okay, okay. Using this link, you can just see what all the different permission sets that were added as part of this particular group. Okay. So all the access which is present in this permission, these two permission sets will automatically apply to the user. Okay. So on the user record, you will have an option to assign the permission set groups. Okay. So let me open up any user. Okay, guys. Like this, these are the permission sets. This is how we can assign the permission sets. Or else, if you want to assign the permission set groups, this is the one. Okay, edit assignments. From here, it will display all the permission set groups and we can select and assign it. Then what is the use of muting the permission sets? So muting permission set in group is something like that. See, I have my permission set is contain two permission set group which contain two permission sets, right? And I have assigned this permission set group to user 1 and user 2. Okay. User 1 and user 2 I have assigned. But I would like to stop some permissions. Okay. I would like to stop some permissions for user 2. Okay. User 1 should have as it is permissions. User 2 should have only. only user 2 should have uh, normal permissions. Okay, if I directly change into the permissions, edit into the permission set, what happens is it is part of the permission set group. So obviously it will affect both the users. Okay, but I don't want to affect both the users. I just want to affect only user 2. Okay, that is the time what we will do is we will go to mute permissions set in group. Okay, muting permissions set in group. Okay, so whenever we are clicking on this one, there is a this is the one. I already created one, guys, just to check whether how it works. So let me delete this one. So clicking on new, it will just ask you some name. So commerce shopper is my permission set group name. So I just given muted as the label and click on save, just label and API name, click on save. And when you click on that one, permission set groups, then obviously here you will again provide the permissions. Like you can take off the permissions or whatever the permissions that you are giving here. Okay. So for example, let us assume right now it doesn't have any access, guys. Let us assume your account has read and edit permission. Okay. And if you using this muting permission, if you take off edit permission, okay, from the permission on the account object, okay, if you take off the edit permission from the object, then obviously when any user that logs into this one will not have edit access. Okay, this is reducing the permissions, guys. How to reduce your permissions using permission sets? Okay, using permission sets we can't do that, but using permission set groups, whenever we can assign the permission set to a permission set and then we can mute the permissions so that we can reduce the permissions using permission sets. Okay, so this is very important question, guys. There are many interviews they'll ask you, because when we were explaining about the permission sets, right? We will strongly enforcingly saying that you cannot reduce the permission sets, permissions which are present in permission set, right? If the if it has the profile, it's the again it's same, guys. Okay, why I don't want to, why uh, instead of going and doing under the permission set muting option, why can't we take off in permission sets? Okay, you might be asked that question, guys. Generally permission set groups we will create for different departments: finance department, sales department, service departments. Let us assume we will create 3 groups. Okay. Finance department, sales department, service departments. Okay. In all the 3 groups, we are going to add a permission set which is common. Okay. A permission set, like in all the 3 department, account access. Account is the common in all the 3 departments. So we have created a permission set account access, and we have added that account access permission set to first, second, and third groups: finance, sales, and support. Okay, but only I want to control permissions for the finance people only. If I modify the permission set directly, obviously my other two groups also will get affected because that permission set is part of other two groups. Okay. Without affecting the other groups, if I want to apply only for particular people, particular set of people, then that is the time we use permission set groups muting. Okay. So whenever we are going to mute the option, this is the comma shopper. So we are generally what we will do is, let us assume this is the finance permission set. We will go to the finance permission set group and we will just mute the mute permission sets in group. Okay, this is the way we will just go to that particular name and here we will just take off the permissions. So what it is doing is, whatever the permissions that you are providing using the permission sets, okay, you can reduce the permissions using permission set muting option. Okay, but permission set muting option is available only for the permission set groups. Okay, without adding a permission set into the group, you can't mute the permissions. Okay, is it clear, guys? It's a simple concept. But any question? Okay, then move on to our next concept. Basically, our next concept is App Exchange apps, guys. Okay, so in the interviews, generally, if anybody ask you, have you worked on the App Exchange apps? Okay, so you can tell that I was installed some apps, but I haven't created or generated any App Exchange app. Okay, because to create App Exchange apps, you need to have a developer version and lot of experience also you needed, guys. So basically, you will not get an opportunity to create. But you can say, I have like I have like learning experience on App Exchange apps. That's fine. Okay, so App Exchange app is something like that. Simply, you can remember it's our Play Store, guys. Okay. In our mobile, okay, whenever we want to install some applications, how can we install the applications? Like different people design the mobile applications and they will place in the Play Store, right? And some of the applications are free versions and some of the applications, if we, for example, games. Okay, if we would like to install some gaming applications, some of the applications is fairly free. Okay, some of the applications is we need to pay some fee at the time of installing or at the time of registration, right? So in Salesforce also, whatever the functionalities that Salesforce is not provided inbuilt, okay, then some people will implement App Exchange apps for them, okay, and then we can install those applications and we will use those applications. Why I'm saying that you will not mostly use App Exchange applications is something like that. App Exchange applications are always third-party applications, guys. We can't believe them. Okay. That's the reason nobody prefers to install third-party applications into the Salesforce instance. Okay, but there are some Salesforce approved applications that we can install it. That means those are the applications provided by the Salesforce itself. Okay, let me just show you how to access the App Exchange applications. So first of all, what is App Exchange is? App Exchange is nothing but a store where it has a lot of Salesforce applications which is designed by Salesforce developers. Okay. For this, you can just simply search for App Exchange. So Salesforce App Exchange. The URL for this is appexchange.salesforce.com. Okay. So it has so many applications, guys. Sales applications, customer service applications, IT and admin, marketing, analytics related. Okay. Let's take sales as the our category. Okay. As part of the sales application, um, these are the different applications, guys. PDF Builder, Level, Super Round Robin. I can tell you some of the applications are free, some of the applications are priced. Okay. Okay. And so let me, one of the application I'll explain you is the field trip application, guys. Okay. We most of the time use these field trip applications. Okay. What is the use of this field trip application is in your Salesforce, we are creating the records, right? You are creating the fields, right? For example, if you created 10 records, out of 10 records, is the field is used, that means is this field have values for those 10 records, or it was used only 5 times. In case of million records, right? Sometimes we have the field limit of 500, right? Sometimes we will hit those limit and we need to delete some fields. That time we always use this field trip application to analyze what is the usage of this field. Okay. Out of, I mean, by that time, obviously, you will be having some millions of records. Okay. For example, out of 1 lakh record, how many records this field we have populated? That means, obviously, we are using that field. If the field has the value, then we are using that field. Whether the field has the value or not, how can we identify? Going through the each and every record and verify that particular field has some value or not is really difficult because it has 1 lakh records. Okay. Such scenarios, almost all the projects we use field trip application, guys. Okay. So any of the field trip application, it has, I mean, different people implemented different field trips, guys. Okay. We are generally use a normal field trip. This one. Okay. So this is the where you will see it. Never requires payment. So this is the free application here. Okay. And they will explain what is the use of it. So this is the image they are just showing you. Okay. For example, field name is ID, last name or first name. Okay. This is 750 records. It was populated. So 100% the field is used. Email. Email is populated 250 times. That means the usage is 33%. So like that, it will just analyze and display what is the usage of our fields. Okay. Here you can watch the demo also. It's simply like this, we call it as a app exchanges. If we want to design our own apps also, we can design it and we can store it here and we can make it as a free, or if you want to charge some amount, you can make it as a paid apps. Okay, this is one of the free app and let me show you some of the paid apps. So here, this is the pricing, guys. Pricing is the option. Here, if you want to see only free apps, you can just select the free apps. Or else if you want to see only paid apps, then you can select paid apps. Okay. Zoom Info Enrich. This is something like that. In your Salesforce, right? You will be having some marketing team will get some data. like some leads, right? Whenever they do the campaign, they get some information saying that some leads. But basically, what they will receive the first name, last name, and email, right? But using this ZoomInfo Enrich application, so this is the price of this. Okay. What they do is they will get the information from for example, if I just given my company email, right? What it will do is it will go to my company database, it will connect to my company, and it will get all other my details. Okay, like first name, last name, email. Generally, I provide that as part of their campaign, but rest of the details, like I am working on so and so company, and this is my role, and these are my job activities, like that. The rest of the information, if you install this application, it will get automatically, and not sensitive information, guys, public information, whatever generally we post on the portals and all. Okay, on the company websites or omni portals, we post our information, right? Like social media, we post, right? So, get by using those resources, automatically it will enrich our data, like customers' data, whatever we have. But this is paid version. Okay, paid versions looks like this. If you want to get this application in your organization, you have to pay this amount. Okay, that is the one. So there are two types of versions always, paid and free. Okay, rest all you can just take it off. It's something like that, paid add-on required and discounts for non-profits. That means they are just like there are some non-profit applications and they are going to have more discounts for it. But basically, that is also a kind of paid with some discounts. Okay. So basically, they will be paid or free versions. So most of the times we will not use paid versions, and free versions we always try to use free versions. Okay. The difference between the free versions and paid versions are paid versions will always have more features, guys. It's simply how I will show you how can you install it. You have to click on get it now. Okay, I'm trying to install the field trip, guys. Okay, then it will ask you, do you have an Salesforce account? Okay, Trailblazer account. If you have, you can just log in. Trailblazer is nothing but the Trailhead account, guys. Okay, I have, right? I'm going to click on login. It's a Salesforce. So I'm trying to give my details. Okay, it is asking to allow access. You can simply click on allow. Then, where do you want to install this package? Obviously, we have only one arc, guys. In our case, it's a trial arc and it's a production. Otherwise, if you give your sandbox or production, then it will ask you the two things, sandbox and production arcs. Okay. So it is asking me production arc. So I'll show you the difference between it. From the setup, if you see the installed packages, so it is showing no packages are installed, right? So and it is giving me the image of App Exchange. Basically, whenever you install something from the App Exchange app, you will see that under the installed packages. Okay, I'm trying to install the field trip application. So I should see my application under the installed packages. So install in production. Salesforce is not provided for this listing, hasn't reviewed it to understand its effectively security and trust. So this is something like that. They're just giving you an alert. Okay, this is not the trusted one. Are you okay with the security? Because this is the pre-version, right? And yes, confirm and install. I have read the terms and conditions. And there is another checkbox, guys. This is something like that to get the notification after the installation is done. But I haven't checked that thing. That's fine. Okay. It is asking me to log in. So this is your interview question, guys. Whenever you are installing the App Exchange app, what is the different levels of access that you can give? Okay. So the access is install for admins only, install for all users, and install for specific profiles. Okay. Install for admins only is nothing but whenever you have the Salesforce administrator profile. Okay, on your profile, you have a default profile, Salesforce administrator profile, right? Only the users with Salesforce administrator profiles will get access to this application, whatever you are installing. That is the first option. And the second option is install for all users. This is for all the users, all the profile users who are part of this particular org will have access to this particular application. And the next option is a specific profiles. It will just display a different profiles. Okay, by default, system administrator will get full access. Apart from that, other profiles you have, right? What is the access for those rest of the profiles? Okay. Either you want full access or no access. Okay. It's a full access or no access, guys. No other you will have. Okay. Like you would like to give access to only specific profiles, you will select this option. Okay. So right now I just selected and I just acknowledge it and click on install. Now it's installing my application. So it is installing and granting access to admins only. Okay.
బండి రిపేర్ తెస్తాను తీసుకుని వెళ్తున్నాను నేను
వస్తున్నాను నాన్న. ఒక 10 minutes క్లాస్ లో ఉన్నాను. Okay, the installation is complete, right? So click on done. If you see now on your installed packages, you have a package field trip. Okay. And used licenses 0, allowed licenses is unlimited. Okay. There is always, guys, whenever you install package, you will be having the manage license option, uninstall and manage licenses option. Okay. So uninstall is, if you don't want to use this application, you can just simply click on uninstall. And manage licenses is when you click on, in this case, it's unlimited, right? So it's okay, you no need to assign. There are some times you will have the limited licenses. In that case, you will be getting a button saying that to select the users. Okay, like what and all users that you would like to use this. Like maybe you have given this for all the admins, but the allowed licenses are 20. Then you are in your org, if you have 30 admins, then you are going to select 20 admins out of that. Okay, you will be having like manage add user button here, and when you click on that button, it will ask you to just select the users that you would like to enable for this application. So right now is field trip application I have. So from the app launcher, now I can see an application field trip. If I uninstall this application, then I'll not see this option, guys. Okay. So, okay, this is the field trip application. New field trip can require a remote site. Click to add the remote site. Okay. So Salesforce is something like that. Whenever you want to use the third party application, you want to add a remote site, guys. So you can simply click on add remote site. It will take you to the remote site settings and automatically it will populate remote site name and remote site URLs. Okay, save. So that Salesforce trust, this remote site setting is something like that. Whatever the URLs that you have added, Salesforce trust that URLs and it will allow you to do that application, whatever it designed to do. Okay. So now we have added to remote sites. Okay. Again, let me add it to field trip application. Now I'm opening up the field trip application. Already remote site is added. So start your free trial. Free trial. We just need to log in, guys. Okay. It is not accepting the Gmail. Basically, we have to give our company emails. Okay. But it's not. Oh, but I can't use my company email right now, guys. But generally, what it will do is, if you see any images also, how it works. From the App Exchange app also, if you see how it works, is something like that. You can go to Google. You can simply see the images of field trip. App Exchange Salesforce. Okay. So all the images says you the same thing, guys. You can just go through any of the image. Actually, it is blocked from my system, but I'm sure you can open from your systems, guys, because mine is the company system. That's the reason it is blocked. Okay, but you are sure you can open it. If you open up any image, right, it will display what is the object name, what is the field name, like the same thing. Okay, object label and whether it's a custom field and how many fields, how many records, and how, I mean, how many records this is used. Okay, that is how this application will help you to analyze the fields. Though these are nothing but the AppExchange applications. Okay. So simply about the AppExchange applications is the applications which is designed outside of the Salesforce and they deployed into the AppExchange app, Salesforce AppExchange. So Salesforce AppExchange is nothing but the just a kind of Play Store. Okay, and from there we can download the applications and I mean we can install the applications into our Salesforce org and we can use those applications. Okay, so basically whenever we want to use the applications which is developed by third party systems, we use AppExchange apps. Okay. If you say, I don't designed any application, but I have installed Fieldtrip, and you can say just use of Fieldtrip, guys. If you can just, if you tell them the description is also fine. Okay. Above wish to could run the report on standard and custom fields that you have in your Salesforce. Use the Fieldtrip. Or if you can go to the just appexchange.salesforce.com. Okay. And there also, if you can just go to the appexchange.salesforce.com and just search for Fieldtrip. So this is the one of the best example, guys. Have you used any AppExchange app in your projects? You can simply say, yes, I have used the Fieldtrip app. Okay. You can go to this Fieldtrip and just try to watch this video. Okay, read it and try to watch this video. Then you can easily understand how this behaves, how this works, this AppExchange works. Like not AppExchange, guys. How this Fieldtrip application works and what is the user use to use it in our orgs. Okay. That's it, guys. Apart from that, no major things related to the AppExchange. So if I open up the content again, so as we discussed, I just completed the small things that I left. AppExchange is done. And then muting of the permission sets is done. Schema builders is done. Compact layouts done. So from tomorrow onwards, we are going to start about two more biggest topics, guys. Formulas and validations and Salesforce flows. Okay. Out of all these things, guys, data security and permission sets is very important. There will be plenty, like not only data security and permission sets in groups. Like most of the interview questions will come on this data security and relationships, permissions and groups in the sense of relationships. Okay. Data modeling. Okay. And lightning experience. Each and everything is very important, guys. I can't say one is more and one is less, but data security, permission set groups, and data modeling. There's no interview without asking questions on, like if they ask 10 questions, guys, 5 questions will come on data security, data modeling, and permission set groups. Okay. Rest of the 5 questions they will ask you on remaining topics like user management, identity basics, or Lightning experience customization, Lightning app builders. Okay. So you should have 100% clear knowledge on these 3 things: data security, data modeling, and permission set groups. Like practical knowledge, you should be in a position to solve any, I mean, each and every, you should have thorough knowledge on each and every topic, 100% knowledge. Okay. For rest of the things, at least if you have a little bit of less knowledge is also fine. But data security, permission set groups, data modeling, it's just simply guys, I'm telling you like important questions. All are important, but these are the damn sure exam questions, something like that, right? Whenever we were studying like that, we are preparing for the exams, our teachers used to tell us this is very, very, very important, and this is important, this is important. Like that, data security, permission sets groups, and data modeling is very, 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 very important. There is no interview without questions on these 3 topics. Okay. After that, again, formulas and validations and flows. These 2 also. Out of these topics, data security, permission set groups, data modeling, formulas and validations, Salesforce flows. These 5 topics are very, very, very important topics, guys. Okay. And after that, the important topic is Lightning experience customization. No, Lightning app builder. App builder is the important topic. And after that, Lightning experience customization is important topic. And after that, user management is important topic. Then identity basics is the last priority one. And these are all general topics. Those are also, sometimes they'll ask the questions, sometimes they'll not ask the questions. The first 3 things are the least priority ones only, guys. Okay. Rest of the things are highest priority ones. Under the rest of the things also, Lightning app builder compared to Lightning app builder and Lightning experience customization, rest 5 topics are very, very, very important. Okay. So tomorrow we will start with our formulas and validations. That's it for today, guys. Thank you. Any questions? Okay, thank you. If you have any questions, you can stay on here. I'm going to stop recording.